It's around that time of year again where we all sit here and argue and debate over who should have been an all-star starter and who didn't deserve it. Funny part is that none of this really matters because everyone who we do feel like should be an all-star starter is still going to be an all-star anyways. Just gonna be on the bench. And this year it doesn't even matter because they're split into 4 separate teams. So anyways, but that being said, there are still some controversial things on here and some things that a lot of people have been upset about recently, and I figured we can go over and talk about them because I have so many good takes, and that's why you guys watch this channel. Okay, in case you don't know and you want to be a little bit more up to date, here are the actual all-star starters so far. In the Eastern Conference, you have Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Giannis, Kat, and Donovan Mitchell. Very cool, very cool, very cool. Over in the Western Conference, you have LeBron James, Nikola Jokic, Steph Curry, SGA, and Kevin Durant. All right, so now that we know who's on the all-star starters list, who were the people that were snubbed? Why are people upset about this list? Well, basically, it's over just one person. You probably see it in the title and thumbnail, but it's Lamelo Ball. Here's the Eastern Conference voting results, and as you can see, it's all calculated over the difference of 3 different people. You have the players that do their ranking, then you have the fans that do their ranking, then media. As you can see, Giannis has first place in all 3, so he's a starter. That's just how it works. Pretty self-explanatory. Well, if you go down and look at Lamelo Ball, player ranking, he was 3rd. Fan ranking, he was 1st. So it's already looking good, right? He just needs like maybe a top 3 by, media, and he would be an all-star starter lock. Yeah, the media gave him 7. Oh, the media put him in 7th place. Oh my God. Yeah, this maybe caused a bit of a frenzy. That's all I'm going to say. Just to give you some of the players who the media feels like are better than LaMelo Ball, you have Trae Young, Damian Lillard, Cade Cunningham, Darius Garland, and then, of course, Donovan Mitchell and Jalen Brunson. And you know what? I'm honestly okay with LaMelo Ball not being a starter this year. I feel like all of the all-star voting is just one of those things where we don't even really know what we're basing it off of. Like, obviously, if you go and you voted and did your ballot, you know what you are prioritizing. Maybe you just want to vote for the young, fun guys because you want to give them a chance. Maybe you're voting for a guy because he's the best player on your team. Or you're just voting for the dude that averages the most points or the guy that you think will be the most fun. Like, everyone has their own standards for voting, and I feel like this year, with what we're looking at least with this LaMelo Ball thing, a lot of it comes down to team performance. And I know that's a very controversial thing. We have that conversation about the MVP award saying that it shouldn't matter. Your team performance shouldn't matter because we're talking about an individual player. But at the end of the day, there are some people who will go and do their all-star vote and say, these 2 guys are the 2 best guys on X team. And I really do feel like that's kind of how this voting goes, at least for media. Some people probably don't even really fucking watch the Charlotte Hornets because LaMelo Ball, by all-star standards, like having him in an all-star game, probably the best fucking player you can have on here. He is by far the most fun, the most energetic, the most, performative. But thankfully, he's still gonna be there. Like, I'm seeing so many people get upset and saying the media should be ashamed of what they did to LaMelo. He's still gonna be there. Like, I genuinely, unless there's a world where the head coaches who vote on the reserves for some reason fucking forget about LaMelo Ball, he's going to be an all-star. So I really don't think that matters. What I do think matters is the fact that Steph Curry is a starter. I don't think enough people were talking about that. This is obviously a guy who is having a career worse year, an actual terrible season, averaging just 22 points. And we can talk about the whole argument about team performance. The team is the fucking 11th seed. They're terrible. But when I talk about this, I get comments like this one right here. You guys are typical stat watchers on Curry. He makes the biggest impact on the floor with insane gravity for his teammates and gets doubled every possession. He deserves to be a starter. I will never understand the argument of like, you guys need to respect this guy more because he's getting defended very heavily. That doesn't mean shit. Why are we pretending like Steph Curry just recently became good or players just now found out how to guard him? You know why he's getting doubled and why there's so much gravity on him? Because the Warriors haven't built their roster good enough that there's any other threats around him. So teams are obviously going to take advantage of that and just fucking blitz and double the shit out of him because if Curry can't shoot, then no one else can. This isn't new. The only reason why they didn't do it back during the old, 2010s finals, era was because he had good fucking players around him. You double Steph Curry, Klay Thompson's wide open. You double Steph Curry, Kevin Durant's wide open. It's not like a new thing, so I never really understood this argument. But then again, I'm really arguing for just no reason. Because the All-Star game is in San Francisco, it was pretty obvious Steph Curry was going to be a starter. But when I was looking through these comments, I did get a couple of other ones that I thought were pretty fun to, pick and, point out. Like Phillips that says, Cade Cunningham over Donovan Mitchell 100%. I know we're excited about the Pistons right now. We really like Cade Cunningham. Okay, everyone's saying, he's back. He's really good. It wasn't a bust. Relax. He's still going to be an all-star. He is still going to be an all-star, but relax. Have you been watching the Cavaliers? Just pump the brakes a little bit. Then we have Battle Cry saying LaMelo greater than Brunson. If LaMelo has good teammates, they can win more games or maybe go to the playoffs. What the fuck does that have to do with him being an all-star? Like, yes, Brunson, you have too many good teammates, so you are no longer going to be an all-star. We are only going to give it to guys like Bub Carrington and fucking Zach LaVine, because their teammates are dog shit. This makes no sense. I don't understand it. Okay, moving forward. Norman Powell should absolutely be a reserve. This was actually the most liked comment under the TikTok that I posted. And the reason why Norman Powell is being brought up is because in the Inside the NBA predictions, Charles Barkley said that Norman Powell should be an all-star. And in my video, I maybe said that he shouldn't. And you guys know how much I love Norman Powell. The man needs to win Most Improved Player of the Year this year, or else I'm going to go fucking batshit crazy. And you know what? Honestly, after really thinking about it, yes, I think he could be an all-star. You could give him that spot. I think I really just wanted, my hometown hero, De'Aaron Fox, to be on that list. Considering, Fox is putting up better numbers in literally every single metric. But you know what? If people want Norman Powell, fucking give him Norman Powell. I really don't care anymore. I will say, I'm looking at the Western Conference voting results, and I cannot believe the players ranked Luka Doncic all the way down at 6th. I mean, no one was going to be SGA or Steph Curry because of their votes. It's just like solid that they were going to win it. But they put Anthony Edwards, Kyrie Irving, Devin Booker over Luka Doncic. That has to be like an availability thing, because there's no way we're saying Kyrie's better than Luka. It has to be availability. But speaking about Charles Barkley from earlier, there were a couple of other things that he did that were just kind of questionable, like putting Bam Adebayo as an all-star reserve for him this year, even though he has been terrible this season. He also had Giannis as a reserve and instead put Jaylen Brown as a starter. Kind of crazy to do that. And then putting Jalen Green as an all-star this year. I thought that was personally kind of a little bit too much. But then again, this is just kind of one of those things where every single year, everyone has something to say. Everyone has their opinion on who should be credited as an all-star and who shouldn't. So tell me what you think down in the comments below. I'm pretty sure I said something that you guys don't agree with, so I'm down to have that conversation down in the comments, okay? I read and respond to everyone. Make sure to like and subscribe, as I'm probably going to go over the all-star reserves when those come out next week. And I genuinely have a strong feeling there will be some hot fucking selections on that one. I really do think there's going to be some hot takes and some people that really don't deserve to be there, or players that got snubbed. So definitely stay tuned for that. You're going to want to be subscribed so you know when that video comes out. I will see you guys all in the next one. Later.